Yesterday, Senate spokesman and the senator representing Osun Central in the National Assembly, Dr. Ajibola Basiru, was on this show to speak on the state of play in the All Progressives Congress in Osun State, as well as the rift between Interior Minister Ogeni Rauf, Aregbesola, and former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Basiru was of the opinion that the APC in Osun is not factionalized and would head into the upcoming governorship election under the leadership of Chief Bisi Akande as a united party. He made it clear that based on incumbent Governor Gboyega Oyetola's stewardship, he deserves a second term, and downplayed the feud between Aregbesola and Tinubu. However, the Aregbesola camp in the Osun APC thinks otherwise and is of the view that Basiru obfuscated the truth. As such, it has delegated Mr. Kolapo Alimi, a former commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs and legal advisor to the Osun Progressives TOP, and Bola Ahmed, an aide to the Minister of Interior, who are both joining us now to give us their perspective on current developments in the ruling party. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Well, welcome. Yeah, Bola Ahmed, thank you for joining us. Well, quickly, let me start with you. Since you are with us right here in Lagos, what exactly is going on in Osun State APC? The big fear is that there could be violence this Saturday when the party conducts its primaries, and already we have 3 persons on the ballot. What's your take on the situation?
Well, thank you, producers and the anchors and listeners at home. Let me first say that the position in which our party is today in Osun is quite unfortunate, and it's unnecessary, avoidable, and unwarranted. But the real issue is that, unfortunately for us, our governor, Gboyega Oyetola, when you look at him from afar, very calm, very decent, very gentle. But when you look at his actions and inaction, he's a tough man. On getting to the government, when we want to go to historical, on getting to the government, he started the politics of segregation. People have been talking of Aregbesola, and so on and so forth. The issue is not about Aregbesola. It's about the party members in the states who are currently aggrieved with the governors. When I saw what you say, my brother and the Senate spokesman, what he said, it baffles me. For anybody who has been a keen observer of political development in Osun over the last 2 years or thereabouts, will know that there is a problem politically in the state. And so if anybody is just coming to the public to brainwash them that, yes, everything is okay, everything is fine, it's like somebody who has planted 50 yams and is telling the whole world that has planted 1,000 yams. The Yoruba proverb will say after he finishes eating the 50 yams, he will finish, he will hit the remaining yam that are forced. So as of today, we are here today, our party APC in Osun, we are in this position today because of the politics of segregation, politics of alienation, embarked upon from day one by our governor, Gboyega Oyetola. And let me go back to historical lane. Our governor, Oyetola, was not a politician in Osun. When he was appointed by Aregbesola as chief of staff, that was the first time he came to Osun for politics, for political something. And he was like a technocrat. Somebody who is staying in his office, just doing files and so on and so forth. And so he was not popular. As at 2018, when our leader, our referral leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said he must be our own candidate, people were raising that this man, apart from him not popular, he is from a senatorial district that has produced governors at that time for 11.5 years, just like any other state. Each state has 3 senatorial districts. In Osun, we have Osun West, we have Osun Central, we have Osun East. Osun West has only produced governor for 1 year, 10 months. That was late Senator Akande before the military intervention. So in 1999, Baba Akande ruled for 4 years, Prince Oyinlola ruled for 7.5 years. Both of them, they are from Osun Central Senatorial District. And as of 2018, Aregbesola hails from Osun East. So as of 2018, when Aregbesola was about to complete 8 years of Osun East Senatorial District, the agitation in the states was that the governorship ticket should be sold to Osun West, which has only produced a governor for less than 2 years. And so, but when our leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said, this man happened to be my cousin, he said, cousin or brother, I said, I want him to succeed you. Aregbesola came and he told the party, this is what our leader wants, and this is what I will do. And so, the whole party, uproar, that was uproar, the traditional rule, everybody said, no, this is an injustice. Let us have political balancing. And so, in our party, some people decamp to PDP, led by Dr. Peter Babalola, Peter Action. And some people decamp at that time to SDP. They felt cheated. They did that from the West Senatorial District. They decamped to ADP. And so we went into 2018 election with a depleted parties. And despite that fact, after the first ballot in September 22, the PDP led us with 353 votes. But fortunately for us, elections were cancelled in 7 polling units. And that election was declared inconclusive. And the run was ordered on September 28th. And we won. And as of today, our party in Osun is ruling with 482 votes. And so, when the governor now came, he said that in his own notion, he said Aregebesola is too politically sagacious for his election to be declared inconclusive. And so he said he will ensure that he deals with Aregebesola. And he started it, and we are pleading. When we realized this thing, I and some other people, we went to Obakare, we explained to him. Baba called them to a meeting. They gave him time. You are the governor now. Embrace everybody. Because he told us that anybody that has one thing, directly or indirectly, to do with Aregebesola will be dealt with in the party. And he's doing it. Then we escalated it to Asiwaju. Asiwaju flew from Lagos down to Ila. Asiwaju himself told him that you are the governor now. You have to embrace everybody. But alas, he didn't do that one. But the area where it is most painful was that Asiwaju, our leader, happened to be the one that imposed him on us in the first instance. But when he didn't do the bidding of Asiwaju to harmonize everybody, nothing happened. And so the thing continued to degenerate. And that was why some people who are in the states who struggle with Aregbesola for 3.5 years, we gathered ourselves together that this man did not even care. He told some people that after all, Babakande ruled for 4 years and is a former governor, that he would deal with Aregbe, whether that one caused him second time or not, he will not care. And so if you don't care, we care. Because we'll be the loser. So we formed the Osun Progress. That's it. And during the Congress, I said, okay, let us have level playing ground and test your popularity. But at last, because unfortunately for us, he's a member of Buni's committee, caretaker committee in Abuja, and he was manipulating the entire process. Now, when you look at it from that perspective and see how do we get to this place, series offered the chief imams, the Oba, the traditional rulers, because the governor, immediately they talk to him, he said, oh, no, I don't have anything to do with Aregbesola. Let me give you 2 instances. When our party, when Governor Oyetola was to celebrate 2 years in office, and as at that time, it means our party has spent 10 years in office. We said there should be a lecture where we will celebrate 10 years. And then the governor will celebrate 2 years. He told us point blank that I don't want to have anything to do with 8 years of Aregbesola. People were wondering, but you are the chief of staff, not ordinary chief of staff, very powerful man in that administration. And he started the policy of castigating our former governor, rubbishing all the legacies. He would just talk. When they talk on radio, on television, or local radio, people wonder who might be politicians. People are funny. But this man was the chief of staff under Aregbesola for 8 years.
May I come in here? No permanent friends, no permanent enemies. I want to ask a question to Mr. Ilori now. We've heard from Mr. Alimi what has, caused or the factors behind that strongly worded statement we all heard from Ogeni Aregbesola. And he's painted a portrait here of a political neophyte, as your Governor Oyetola, who should ordinarily have been disqualified if the zoning formula was adhered to. But today, he has the power of incumbency. He's also in the caretaker committee. Is there a chance of a free and fair primaries on Saturday? Or do you fear that that might not happen? Because, the power of incumbency is a real factor here.
In my response, let me start from where Dr. Ruben Abati opened the matter from. The first issue that he raised is the issue of violence. And the issue of violence is something that is also alien, that had become alien to Osun. with the 8 years of Ogeni, Rauf Aregbesola, we used to have violence in Osun when PDP was in government. But let me tell you that what we have noticed now is that the violence of PDP is even lesser than the violence of APC now that is in government. And we use the iconic building in Osun, about the tallest building in Osun today, is what is called Oramiyan House, that belongs to the Minister of Interior, that had been built in year 2005, there, and commissioned in 2006. Since from that time till today, PDP has only fired at that building for once. Only one bullet is what went there. But since the governor Oyetola had become the governor, the place has become firing practice range. The thug of the governor will come there and spray bullets. If you go there now, the entire building has been awash with bullets, the transformer, everything. The telltale sign of firing at the building is there. And the one that is even more alarming was what happened about 3 days ago. Of course, I was live witness to the matter because I was in that particular convoy when we had moved from Ijebu-Jesha to Oshogbo, and the minister had announced I was going to have a meeting at Oramiyan House when he finished Ijebu-Jesha meeting. We've moved all through from Ijebu-Jesha towards the tail end of the procession. Was when the talks of the governor we led the convoy and started shooting to scare people largely. That was what they did. And they thought that people would scatter. But of course, they were dealing with the Minister of Interior, who had a retinue of armed agency around him, including DSS, even some policemen, people of corrections, people of immigration, and even civil defense who were there. Those are the people who repelled the attack. That has been the nature of what we have faced in terms of violence that we have seen. I was there live in the convoy, and you will be shocked. Wherever and what will be the cause of this, of the attack, is that whenever Ogeni, that's the minister, steps his feet in Osun, it becomes instant rally, because he's the most popular politician in Osun today, which is beyond argument. Now, on the issue of whether there could be free and fair primaries, I can tell you that whoever votes for Oyetola on Saturday will be wasting his vote. Why? Because his candidature is against the constitution of APC. The constitution of the party says you cannot be a judge in your own case. And we've seen this happen in Savara and some other places. So whoever is voting for Oyetola is wasting vote, because he is not qualified to be a candidate, because he's a member of the caretaker committee of the party that is organizing the primaries. So how will you be organizing primaries when you are a contestant? You are a contestant, you did not resign. And the rule is that you must resign 30 days before the primaries. So as far as we are concerned today, Oyetola cannot stand as a candidate of APC in Osun or any part of Nigeria for that matter, not just Osun, because he's a member of the caretaker committee who is organizing the election, the primaries. So we know that the party will have problem should the party decide to pick Oyetola, because it will have offended the constitution of APC. And we've seen that when people ride roughshod on what is legal and normal, you will see that the consequences are usually fatal on the party. So it's advice I can give to the party is to appeal to Oyetola not to even contest the election, the primaries. The reason is very simple. He has offended the constitution of APC, and the party will pay dearly for it. It's easy for the caretaker committee to say they want to come and rig the election. But if should they try it, the implication, apart from the fact that whereas they can announce anything, they will have problem of also needing to pack the PVC of party members who will be enraged at whatever rigging they might be planning. So for me, it's not about fear of whether there will be free and fair primaries. It's the consequences of the primaries on the party as a whole, and the larger implication of such issue on the party. We've seen it. Why must we be doing the same thing and be expecting different results? They've done it in other places. Well, it has always led to catastrophic consequences.
If I may come in
yes,
here.
Sir.
Yeah, let me take you up on the things you said about violence. You are blaming Governor Oyetola. But there was a police report by the State Police, Osun State Police Command indicting the Aregebesola camp, stating very clearly that the Minister of Interior stormed Osogbo, and that all that conflict at the old garage area and Okefia was because he had gunmen from civil defense, gunmen from Nigerian Correctional Service, and also immigration officers, shooting indiscriminately all over the place. And that evidence was also supported, we're told, by some students who protested, against the Osun progressives. I know, of course, that yesterday some supporters of Minister Aregbesola demanded the removal of the Osun State Police Commissioner. And that's why originally I asked a question about violence on Saturday. So who should we believe? Between the Leri Oluwa camp and the Osun Progressives Aregbesola camp? Okay, we lost connection there. Maybe you should take it off.
Maybe I should take it off. First and foremost, when there is a narration, all of us are intelligence. We should put it in our thinking faculty that Ogeni Aregbesola was coming from Ilesha Axis. Anybody who knows Osogbo very well will be able to follow the trend. The number of distance he has covered with tumultuous crowd up till Station Road. Station Road happened to be one of the center area in Osogbo where marketers, sellers, sell clothes, all sorts of things. They stopped him. The crowd was, because he was with Alhaji Adeoti, the crowd was tumultuous. When you now follow that trend, up to post office area, Orisunbari Market, the place was jam-packed. And that place was adjacent to Freedom Park, which Aregbesola did. It was on the Freedom Park axis that those hoodlums came. They were shooting at the convoy of the minister. Please, gentlemen, people that are listening to us, if peradventure Aregbesola had been killed in that place, the question you journalists and Nigeria will be asking will be, what were the security personnel in the corridor of the minister? What were they doing? You understand it? The security personnel only responded, you understand it, to the attack. If Aregbesola, who was there, was coming with the people, how will he now be shooting at the people? Is it reasonable? And that it was not a one sport program. It was a road show. He has been coming, and after the incident, he still continued. It's quite unfortunate that professionalism is lost in this country. And I use one example after the AFCON, when I was discussing after the judgment at Osogbo. Some journalists they interviewed. I said, well, this is a reflection of our character. When I listened to the analysis of our AFCON, they said the officials who officiated those football matches, Nigeria only had one, and the person was only used as assistant referee. And that's okay, if only the only officer that we have there only was used as assistant referee. It's a reflection of who we are. That country like Togo, Ghana, and so on and so forth, small country, this Nigeria where we are giants, will be producing so many officials, and the referee is like a judge. It's just because we can see white like this. And this is white, we'll be calling it black. For policemen in Osun who have their personnel in the convoy of the Honorable Minister to now come up with that kind of a statement, so biased, but because we had earlier on wrote a petition to the IGP against the Commissioner of Police. That was the reason. And look at it. The first time we were having our own Congress, they were having their own. They came down to attack our people. They said we are the one who attack ourselves. How could we be attacking ourselves? We mobilize people. When we were up during the Congress, we petitioned to the National for appeal. They sent appeal panel. They said appeal panel said we should mobilize the petitioner. We mobilized there. The Commissioner of Police was there in the open like this. The people, the hoodlums, they use hook and they put Oyetola's cap. They cover their eyes, and our people said this is not fair for where the people were. The Commissioner of Police said what we will do is that all the people in that compound should move out. Our people should not move out. If our people should move out, they will be attacked. Then the Commissioner of Police left. Just barely 10 minutes, they started shooting at us. We wrote petition. We mentioned names of those that we suspected. They didn't do anything. They came to Oromia first when we were having meeting. We were attacked. We wrote petition. We mentioned names. They didn't do anything. The second time they came, we wrote petition. We informed the police. They didn't do anything. Our people was attacking Ifelodu Ikiro. Instead of arresting those that came to attack us in our meeting, they went ahead to arrest our people and they were detained. And during the appeal that I told you during the Congress, it was our people that were arraigned. So we have written a petition against the Commissioner of Police. And anybody who now read the report of police and read the report of the civil defense, you know we say the truth. They now went to the place to remove the pellet. It is true that the convoy and the minister, they repaired the attack. So when you see there, you will see the pellet. But when you look at what actually happened, it is not true that it was the security personnel in the cover of the minister that provoke who. The last one that you asked about the Congress, and taking it from what Ilori said, look at it. Our primary was initially fixed for March 5. But because later on the president insisted that our convention should come up on 26th, then the following week we started hearing that it will be drawn down. We thought they were joking. Only for them to move it from March 5 to 19. And look at what happened in Ekiti. They moved that of Ekiti from 17 to 27. Our own was, they are trying to manipulate everything. And look at it, we have written a lot of letters, we have addressed press. You are a member of Buni's committee that will organize the primary. You are going to be the one to choose all the committee.
If
Please.
I could come in here, Mr. Alimi, that one might say that that's the power of incumbency that I referred to earlier.
It is because of
Do we have Mr. Ilori back?
No, we lost
still don't.
connection.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you. In all of this, PDP is watching, waiting in the wings to possibly exploit this rift within the party. And we've seen these really disturbing, ugly incidents that you've just described. I want to know, what efforts have been made at reconciliation of the warring factions? Has there been any effort? To what extent? Because the other issue is that INEC has been quite consistent in calling for internal democracy. The primaries are key. You recall what happened to APC in Zamfara, which happened to be disqualified. That was over the deadline. But any irregularities with the primaries will be sanctioned by INEC. APC is taking a huge risk going into the primaries with this fractured state in the relationship. What is it that has been done with regards to dousing the tension, reconciliation? Are those efforts working?
Thank you very much. That's surprising. I know I told you that we escalated this issue. If you monitor the news very well, you discover that there was a time our leader, Chief Bisi Akande, called the governor and the minister. No positive result. Baba Akande also called stakeholders meeting to his house in Ila. No positive results. Asiwaju flew to Ila to meet Governor Aregbesola, Honorable Minister, the Governor Oyetola, and Baba Akande. No positive result. Our national party, they set up a reconciliation committee led by Senator Adamu Abdullahi. We explain all these things to them. No positive report. The report, in respect of Osun, they will not allow it to come out, because the issue is this. The moment if you come to Osun as an arbiter, you will see and clearly that the government is at fault. But many people, when they say the government is at fault and is not ready to yield his own position, they drop it. The traditional line also, they have waded into it. The governor has not yielded. The Muslim clerics in Osun, the Christian clerics in Osun. So before people are not full, before it degenerated to this level, it's because our governor, in his own belief, that he could do it all alone. Now coming back to what you said, that is what we are now saying. That the whole world should hear it now. That if anything happen, God forbid, towards our party after the election, nobody should blame Aregebesola, because there is still another point which people don't look at. The issue is I told you that our governor, apart from the issue of political imbalancing, our governor is not popular. Unfortunately for him too, he's from a very small community. He's from Aregbiji in Borikwe local government. Aregbiji only has 3 wards. Whereas in 2018, and which is most likely to be the case now, the PDP choose their own candidates from Ede. Ede happen to be a community which spreads across 3 local governments. They have huge voting strengths. They are in Ede North, they are in Ede South, they are in Egbedore. And so when you study our results, you Google it, and anybody needs it, I can give it to them. Go and study the results. In 2018, PDP candidate produced a lead of almost 25,000 votes for PDP in his own 2 local governments. Whereas our own candidate, Ajibola Oyetola, produced a lead of 4,700 for us. You understand it? That factor is still there. And it is difficult. The use of BFAS and some other equipment. It is difficult for anybody to think that there is one federal might that will work for him. That's the point we are raising. That the reality on ground now is that people vote who can't. And so you must not go into an election with a depleted party. A situation whereby they manipulate the primary, we know they can do that one. We know, because as today that we are talking, nobody has announced to us the committee that will conduct the primary.
Can we move beyond Oyetola?
Okay.
Because there are other names that have been mentioned in this whole saga. First, Senator Iyola Omishore. Why is Senator Iyola Omishore not on the side of Minister Aregbesola? Why is it that Omishore is not on his side, Oyetola is not on his side? And then what is the role, let's add a second person or third person, of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in all of this? Because in the reports, it's very clear that the relationship between Aregbesola and Tinubu has collapsed. What is responsible for that? Is Tinubu actually the problem, playing God, as Aregbesola suggested in Osun politics?
Let me take it after the other. The issue of Omishore. When you look at political antecedents in Osun, and go and read the book of Baba Akande, Omishore.
That book is very controversial.
I'm coming. Senator Iyola Omishore happened to be the deputy to Baba Akande, was so instrumental to our loss, electoral defeat in 2003 because of the feud between him and Baba. And that was, you see, aspect of Baba Akande, no matter how controversial the book might be, his area of Omishore will be a direction to them. There might be little differences. Now, he was the one who contested against Aregebesola in 2014. And Aregbesola is an Ijesa man. Till tomorrow, there's this notion, unproved allegation of the assassination of Chief Bola Ahmed. And so when you take all these things together, and they have not been best of friends because of the fact that this issue of Bola Ahmed issue, and the second one happened to be the one that he has been contesting against Aregebesola, and Aregebesola has been defeating him in any way. Now when the issue now started, when we wanted to have rerun, some people believe Omishore had this something. I said, no, this is not true. The area where we were to have the rerun, in Orolu, before they disrupted the election, we were to win there. In Osogbo, only Akindeko, there was a result, and we won. It was because of people compromised the presiding officer to run away, and they didn't allow the resource sheet from the party agent to be collected. That was and so only 3 polling units were in Ife. Ife South 2, Ife North 1. And in those 2 local, when go and check the result, ordinarily we won there. But some people now said, yeah, it was Omishore that to perform the magic. But let us now leave it. Now, when Omishore now wanted to come, Omishore came purposely, Governor Oyetola approached Omishore, he has been dealing with Omishore purposely to deal with Aregbe. He has his own, when we were dealing with Governor Oyetola, you said we should leave him out, we'll leave him out. We were dealing with him honestly, without bias mind. He has got his own ideas of what he wanted to do. So he thought in his own idea he needs Omishore, he brought him in. That's the reason why Omishore can never be on the side of Aregbesola. On the side of our own leader, initially our respected leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did well, fantastically well. I said he flew from Lagos to Osun. But now ask, all those things that they asked the governor to do, did he do it? And when he fails to do it, what did our leader do? This is the thing that infuriated all the party members. When you see Aregbesola speaking, he's not speaking for himself. He's speaking for the party members. And the party members let him know that even if you put to Oyetola, you are a minister, you have been so fortunate. There are people that this man has castigated. He has ruined them politically. They will not allow things just to go down like it is just about Governor Aregebesola. You won't see people embracing him. It was because of his popularity that's why they are attacking him. They want to portray him to the whole world in bad light. They could do that one. But in Osun, it's difficult for them. So if at the end of the day, our party goes ahead to put forward Alhaji Oyetola, our chance of winning will be like a situation whereby...
No, you've made that point. I wanted you to comment on the role being played in the saga by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What did you expect him to do? Is your principal saying that he's the one encouraging Oyetola to be treacherous, as he said?
Let me present it. I presented a picture now that in 2018, It was insistence of Ajibola Ahmed, on the insistence of Ajibola Ahmed Tinubu. That's why we use Aregbesola Oyetola. If somebody has now done that one, and Aregbesola has honored him, look at what happened in Ondo. The people rejected Asiwaju's candidate. Look at what happened in Ekiti. But in Osun, Aregbesola stick with what his leader wanted. If such a person is now misbehaving and is brought to his attention, and nothing is done, you could just imagine, you can deduce yourself. Our leader is respected. I won't say more than that one, but to the people in Osun, the role we expected him to play has not been carried out.
Well, you still refer to him as your leader, so that's instructive. But what's your reaction to the news reports that the House of Representatives has commenced a probe into allegations of misuse of 165 billion naira prison funds? They're probing the Minister of Interior, Ogeni Rauf Aregbesola.
One of the statutory functions of a National Assembly or legislature is to supervise the ministry. I just count it as one of those things. When you see Aregebesola, it's a man with Spartan life. He was a commissioner for works in this state. How many houses did he build? He ran as a governor. He ruled as a governor in Osun for 8 years. He has no house in Osun. He's still just building his house in Ilesa. What are you saying? When you go and check him, so it's somebody we know, we can vouch for. It's not an angel. You understand it? But those of us who know him, that anybody, if this government had got anything to level against Aregbesola, they would have done so. They would have used civil society organization to rubbish him. They didn't get it. That's why they are bad-mouthing here and there. So when I hear that one, I know other people might be culpable. It's not Aregbesola. But the oversight function of the National Assembly, people should allow them to take it. They should not read political meaning to it. I trust the Speaker of the House of Rep, Right Honorable Gajabi Amila, is not price somebody. The people there are not fools, but the behavior that they want to, when you read the report, what they are saying is that this is the amount of money approved. Was the money released? That's how, you know, people who don't know governance, when they are saying something, there might be budgetary provision for you. It might not be cash back. So how much of that budgetary provision has been cash back? How were they spent? These are the questions they will look at. And Arewa might be the minister. They see as somebody in charge of that place. So they will look at, so for me, I don't read political meaning to it, and I don't have any fear, because I know Aregbesola as a man. Whoever knows, when you see him, he doesn't hit too much. He doesn't womanize. He doesn't have a property around there like other people would do. He's not in the Pandoran list of people in the world that have houses all over the world. So when you see it, you ask him, you can ask him, you can inquire, how many houses did Aregbesola build in Lagos? If somebody acted as commissioner for works and infrastructure in Lagos for 8 years, if he has 5 houses, you people will not say it's too much because of the budgetary provision of that ministry. But alas, it's not. He ruled also in 8 years. He has no house in Osogbo. How much? It's just because this one, he has been saying it several times. I did not collect salary. People continue to badmouth him. You have every right. Go to all the banks. This is the era of BVN. If this man has, it's time for you to bring it out. You understand? He said, I didn't collect salary. Could he have been collecting salary by hand? You understand it? But because Nigeria, when somebody says something, instead of us to agree or to investigate, we could not continue to how is it possible? He's telling lie. You have the number of banks in Nigeria. Just ask the MD. This man in any of your bank, does he has account? And they will tell you whether he has it or not. So if such a man is now being accused of that of thing, it's just an oversight functions of the National Assembly. Let them carry it out, and at the end of the day, you see that Aregbesola has a claim. So I don't have fear about that one.
Okay, Aregbesola has declared a fight, right? And when you want to go to war, you must be prepared.
Yeah.
It's either you win or you lose, right? Okay. The primaries on Saturday, Minister Aregbesola has said Oyetola will get the ambody treatment. In other words, he will not get the ticket for a second time. Does he have enough weight to see that through? If he loses, what is his backup plan? Because you can well imagine that if he loses and Oyetola goes ahead and gets a second term, you know how, you can imagine what will happen. So will the minister go to another political party or just stay away from Osun State till Oyetola completes his second time? I want us to beat scenarios.
Thank you very much. I like your proposition. I will not, since I'm not a ninja, I will not be able to speak the mind of Ogeni. But when you are talking of wherewithal, if we have level playing ground, that's what we are praying for. When Senator Adama Abdullahi came, we told him we are looking for level playing ground. We are asking Oyetola to resign. We are asking that during the primary, accreditation should be done with membership slip and a voters card. The government side rejected it. They rejected that plan. And since then, Oyetola has not resigned. They said they would not allow the accreditation to be done with a PVC. You understand it? Because they were trying to, allegation, to bring some people there. Up to today, the register of the party, because Oyetola happened to be the first to Buni, and Buni happened to be governor, the register in Osun has not been given to all the party, but it's the custody of Oyetola, Governor Oyetola. So, if there is a level playing ground, you journalists, the whole world will know. And if Aregbesola loses, you don't see. But if it is manipulated, then Aregbesola might say and continue to look. The generator of the people will decide in July 16, and you people will now know who owns the land. It's not about going to any other party. Aregbesola cannot go. The followers can do so, because I told you that this is not about Aregbesola in particular. It's about the people in Osun. That even if Aregbesola today says he will port to Oyetola's side, the people are not ready. The people of Osun, they are tired of this man. You can be hearing series of tales, lies, beautiful things, propaganda on radio and television and other something. When the time, the reality come, you witness it. We pray that they should not manipulate the primary. But with what we are seeing as of today, when you look at our guideline, they said they will set up screening appeal committee today. Screening appeal committee will now submit the report tomorrow, and the primary will come on Saturday. When you look at all these things,
you say we will see who owns the land. Yeah. Is it Aregbesola that owns the land, or the people?
That's what I'm saying.
State? Because it will be contradictory for a man
let me
who is criticizing godfatherism to be projecting himself as the godfather of Osun politics.
Let me clear this thing.
Okay.
Who owns the land? It is the people. When you are taking people for granted, you see the consequence. And let me clear that Aregbesola is not trying to be godfather. If you know how our government operated for 8 years, you will agree with me. Apart from the fact that Governor Oyetola is older than Aregbesola in age, when you see the way Aregbesola referred to him in ESCO, you marvel. He said, yes, Chief of Staff, what do you expect us to do? He gave him due regard. My own position is that if Aregbesola did not boss Governor Oyetola when he was serving as his Chief of Staff, defer to him in all aspects of it, how come now that he will not be the boss? And follow the trend. If Aregbesola had wanted to be the boss, he would not listen to Asiwaju when Asiwaju insisted.
May I come in here, Mr. Ademi? Because I think it's extremely important to talk about Moshood at DOT and why you're encouraging, I imagine, delegates to vote for him. What does he have to offer? I mean, he was former SSG, he has administrative experience, but beyond that, why is he your candidate?
Moshood at DOT is a grassroots politician. If you know his history, let me just tell you, he started as a councillor. So politics is different. Councillor in his ward. He moved on to become the local government chairman. From local government chairman, he became the party chairman in AD to AC, to ACN, to APC, to ACN, before he was appointed as a SSG. As SSG, he has his tentacle around. And that was when you discover what happened to us in 2018. Adibin will use Moshood Adeoti as at that time. Moshood Adeoti went to an unknown party a month to the election and had over 50,000 votes. You understand it? And he won his local government convincingly. He alone, go and check the result, led with about 10,000 votes in his local government. I told you, with all the government machineries, with all the form, with everything, Governor Oyetola could only live with 4,700 in his own local government. So when you are, if not for the power of economy you are talking about, when you are talking of politicians, we know access. We know access. So when you are talking of grassroots, that's why you say, just give us level playing ground and see whether Adeoti will win or not. But if they now use the power of incumbency and the fact that our governor happened to be a Bunis committee to manipulate the whole thing, the people will tell the whole world in July 16 that power belongs to the people.
Kolapo, if you may just hold on, we understand we now have Bola Ilori in the studio in Abuja. Bola, thank you for joining us. Well, we've been discussing with your brother here But there was one question that I asked him, the role of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in all of this. Because obviously, in the statement by Minister Aregbesola, he referred to him as trying to play God. And I asked Kolapo Alimi here, what is it that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was expected to do that he did not do?
On the issue of, I was speaking on the issue of violence before network went off. On the issue of Asiwaju, I want to say this, that Asiwaju is my own benefactor and my leader. The same way for Aregbesola, is my boss, my leader, and my benefactor. I would just want to say that I will not be competent to begin to look at whatever might have transpired between both of them. What I can just say is that, and to put it on record, is that whatever is happening between the two of them, and people feel is not okay, is for the leadership of our party, the leadership of our race, to intervene and make sure that this thing does not escalate. Because we've had series of those things in history. And that's why we must be careful about how we handle some of this matter. If you realize such crisis in the First Republic led to the end of that republic, we thought it was just two interpersonal issue. It could degenerate and spiral out of control. So I would be incompetent to begin to analyze that. Let me go to the one I'm competent to analyze. Because both of them are my leaders, so let me go to and I respect both of them, and I'm committed to the two of them. So let me go to the one I can easily analyze, which is what is happening in Osun. So, because both Governor Oyetola, Alimi, Basiru, and Ogeni, we were in the government together for those 8 years. So we know ourselves in and out. So all of us talking, we are together on the matter. Listening to your conversation, some of the ones I could pick, the issue of maybe probe or no probe, I can tell you that probe is a routine matter. It happens virtually every time in the National Assembly. So it's not any issue. And let me tell you what people may not know about federal operations. The minister is not the accounting officer of the ministry. So the minister carries the name. The real accounting officer is the permanent secretary. Yes, all mails are addressed to the minister, but the truth of the matter is that the permanent secretary works on all of those stuff. So I can tell you that there is nothing amiss. In 2020, July 20, the National Assembly also probed this same corrections fund. And it will only come out to even show the minister in better light as having been diligent in applying the funds of the country. While we were in Osun, I will give you one example. While we were in Osun, a judge of the High Court wrote to EFCC to allege that the governor, that was Governor Aregbe, has mismanaged the fund, has done something on Igiye, has done something on Okwaima, listed all manners of inalities. When EFCC called the woman to come and defend her petition, it turned out that there was nothing there. Not only was the fact thrown away, NJC removed that woman from the judiciary. So this is part of politics. If you know Aregbe, you will know that nothing will come out of that. Nothing will come. And some people are even say, Oyetola should have probed Ogeni. It's because they don't know the fact that Governor Oyetola as Chief of Staff was triple signatory to any financial transaction under Aregbesola. So if anything was amiss, the Governor Oyetola can never extricate himself from it. The procurement of loans, Governor Oyetola was the chairman of the debt management office board. So what will anybody be saying? They procured all the loans together and they expended it together. I want to tell you that they expended them judiciously though. So that if you know Aregbe, you will know that money cannot be the issue with him. This is a man who has no house in even Osun. He has been in position forever. How many houses does he have? How many investments has been traced to him? And they went to Pandora. When Pandora report was revealed, well, we know who was indicted.
Well, on that note.
So, yeah.
On that note, we would like to thank you very much, Kolapo Alimi, who is with us in the studio here, and Bola Ahmed joining us.
It's my pleasure.
From the Abuja studio. Thank you very much. I'm sure that the conversation will continue, maybe on the streets or for Osun State. Thank you very much.